How's it going? We're back live here on the stage at the GameSpot booth at E3 2005. Joining me is Cory Stockton. How you doing, Cory?
I'm doing pretty good.
Thank you so much for coming by. Why don't you go ahead and tell the folks at home who you are, what you do, and what game you're going to be showing off.
My name's Cory Stockton, and I'm the co-lead designer on Ratchet Deadlocked. And today we're going to be showing you a few levels.
Fantastic. Now, before we check out Game Out, I hope you don't mind. I want to steal about 30 seconds to talk about this dope thing that somebody just handed to me on stage. Check this out. I don't know if you guys can get a good shot of this. I'll try to get it. Oh, there we go. This little thing wrapped around my finger is a little bendable stylus, and it is called Comfort Stylus. You can find them at comfortstylus.com. They're actually giving one away a day right now. And yeah, a nice young lady over there totally gave this to me, and it is pretty cool. It's for the DS. You wrap it around your finger, and you can make it happen. But that's about it. Actually, all right, we'll get the shot. But I think we're gonna move on to the game right now. It's cool. Thanks. So you got a DS, right?
Yes, I do.
So that looks like a pretty good idea, doesn't it?
I think that's a great idea.
Right on. Now, speaking of great ideas, you guys had a great idea with the last Ratchet game. You guys had the multiplayer. You guys had the online action. Now, this time you guys are taking it a notch further, right, with Ratchet Deadlock. Can you talk about what that's going to be all about?
Exactly. The main plan is we wanted to keep the scope of the Ratchet universe, but just kind of take it in a new direction.
Gotcha.
And just take everything and kind of push it further. That's where the new weapon mod system comes into play, the mission system. So we're taking those core elements and just kind of expanding them in a new direction.
Gotcha. Now, for the folks that don't know this, you were actually working on the last game. Can you tell the folks what you did on the last game?
I basically headed up the multiplayer element of the last game. Just every aspect of it, from the design all the way through the implementation.
I gotcha. Now, on this one, you are basically the second lead design, right?
Exactly.
So what are the lessons that you guys learned from the first game that you're applying now to the second game?
Basically, we want to give the players more customization. Number one, we found out through multiplayer they loved picking skins, picking their own different characters, and we want to kind of extend that into single player. So that's where the weapon mod system comes in. Everyone just always sends us fan mail telling us they want, every weapon you could possibly imagine. And so with the mod system now, players have literally thousands of combinations to kind of just mix and match and get their own favorite weapon.
Right on. Now, the modules you guys had in the last game were pretty extensive as well. What is the difference between the last game and this one?
As far as the mod system goes, well, the main thing about it is that you can change every single aspect of your weapon. So, for instance, we have a napalm mod. So if you put this on, say, something like the grenade launcher, you'd throw it and napalm will come out and all over the ground, and if enemies run into it, they'll take damage. That same napalm mod could go on the mine gun. When your mines pull up, you'll get that. It could go on the rocket launcher. You shoot rockets anywhere, you'll get that same effect.
I got
This can happen from, that's what we call a functional mod, and that goes all the way down to basic mods that do things like weapon speed and just give you more ammo.
Fantastic. Now, can you break up the game for us in terms of the modes? Is there a single player? Is it a multiplayer?
We're going to have 3 full modes. We'll support multiplayer, just as we did last game. We'll support multiplayer offline, 4-player split screen. We have single player, and the most exciting thing for us is the co-op mode.
Really? How does the co-op mode? Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, co-op is going to be split screen, offline, and basically you'll get to play through the entire single player story mode in co-op with a friend. You guys can have separate mods for your guns, so you might have the same weapon, but you guys can have different mods on them. It's really the most popular thing in the office by far.
Really? Now, how long you guys been cranking on this one?
Oh, since the beginning.
Really?
Oh yeah, co-op's was something we wanted to do throughout the series, probably since Ratchet 2. Just never really knew how to do it or didn't have the time, and then we knew for Deadlock that was the one big feature that we wanted to get in there because people have been asking for it forever.
Really? So with the Deadlock, this is actually I guess the third or fourth installment? Fourth installment. Is all the lessons you guys learned from the last game that you applied in this one, is this in your eyes the best of the best?
Oh yeah, I think definitely the best we've done by far. I think that one of the biggest changes players are going to get is that we're defaulting to lock strafe mode. Lock strafe was pretty popular as something new that we added to RC3, and now with lock strafe it's default. So we've kind of been able to change all the setups and give the game more of an action feel. We still have some platforming elements, but it's really heavy on action, and it just having that mode gets players more into the game, lets us kind of have more enemies on screen at a time. So it's a little bit, the difficulty's been cranked up a little bit, but I think overall players are just going to like it a lot better.
Right on. Now, I bet you a bunch of GameSpot Complete members have been sending in questions in to find out about the Ratchet. This one comes in from Andrew in Germany. Will you be able to load previous data from Ratchet and Clank 1, 2, and 3? Anything there?
I think we want to do that. Some we haven't got to yet, but we've done it in every game up until this point. So I imagine we'll probably see that in the future.
Yeah. Simon in England, he wants to know, this is a question you can't answer, so you don't have to. PlayStation 3 version of Ratchet in the future, I'm sure?
Right now, we're just focused on Ratchet Deadlocked for PS2.
Right on. Wayne in Bellevue, Ontario wants to know, is it longer and harder than Ratchet and Clank 3? Because the first one he thought was a little easy.
Yes, and yes.
Really?
I think that overall players are going to get the same experience that they got at Ratchet 3 and a little bit more, and we're definitely kicking up the difficulty a notch.
Excellent. Daniel Stark in Sweden wants to know, what is your favorite weapon?
My favorite weapon?
Yeah.
We definitely have to say the rocket launcher. It's been my favorite weapon all the way back since the very first game in the series. So it's still the weapon I default to anytime I play when I'm playing in the office.
Did you get to help out with that commercial when they filmed it all? That was like the dopest commercial I ever saw.
No, but we did get all the weapons from the commercial.
Oh,
we
really?
have them all around in the office. The giant, huge props.
That's awesome.
We've got the gravity boots. We've got the rocket launchers, the gravity gun, all of that.
Right on. Now, with the game set up the way it is, can you talk about the vehicles? Can you talk about that stuff?
We're going to have 4 playable vehicles in the game. We had 2 in RC3, so we doubled them. We really think that vehicles were really popular with RC3. It was a pretty new experience for players, and so with the new mission system that we're introducing, vehicles really come into play because we can create entire missions around a vehicle. So you're not always going to be on foot. And when you play the game co-op, all the vehicles have a position for the passenger. So 2 guys can jump in a vehicle, 1 guy can drive, and the other guy can work a big turret or a cannon on the back.
Neil in California wants to know, whatever happened to Clank?
Oh, Clank's here. Clank's going to be there in full force. He's your mission coordinator. So throughout the game, you're going to come to points to where you're going to need help to get through an area. You might not know where to go. And Clank will be involved in that the whole time. He'll be updating you with maps. He'll be giving you info. He'll be probably involved more screen time in the game than in any other game, actually.
Excellent. One of the things that people loved about the original, actually all the games in the series, was the cool humor and the cinematics that you guys had. Is that going to be we're going to have the personality in the game?
Oh, for sure. That's going to be a linchpin of the entire game. Cinematics is something that comes later in the game for us, so we don't have them up front. But we're working on all our cinematics right now and plan to have them in the game just like all the past games. Humor is something that we wanted to keep. Even though we went in a new direction, the character looks a little bit meaner, a little older. Still, the story, it's based on humor. It's what we've always been known for, and we're going to keep doing that with Deadlocked.
Sweet. Now, what else can you tell me about the game that we haven't actually covered so far?
Probably, I can give you a little bit of a description of a new multiplayer mode that we're working on. It's called Conquest. And Siege mode last game ended up being pretty popular for us, so we took Siege mode and we're trying to kick it up at another level. So we're using nodes instead of bases this time, and players can capture the nodes and they can earn upgrades. So you can upgrade your nodes, and then we're introducing a thing called specialized kills. So say you kill someone with a sniper rifle, you'll earn an extra amount of points for that kill. You can run someone over, call that a road kill. They'll earn extra points for that. And the best, the humiliation kill. Kill anyone with the wrench, and you get a humiliation kill, and you'll earn more points for those types of kills.
This one comes from Daniel, and he wants to know, do you have any plans on releasing Ratchet games on the PSP by any chance?
Not right now. Right now, the whole company's pretty much just focused on Deadlocked.
At least you know you got a lot of fans out there that want to have a lot of the games that you make on different.
If we could make them for every platform, we would.
Right on. Now, one of the other questions I have that is coming in from Mike, Marion, and Hillard, Ohio. Is the story a continuation like the old one, and will all the characters be in there?
No, it's going to be a completely new story. It's a lot of past characters will definitely be in the game, and there's going to be a lot of new characters as well.
Brendan in Bloomington, Minnesota wants to know how many weapons are there, and how many different vehicles?
There's 4 different vehicles in the game, and there's 10 total weapons. But you have to remember the mod system, right. So basically you're going to end up with thousands of weapons by the end of the game when you can set it all up.
Fantastic. We got Mike in Arkansas. He wants to know how many different environments are there? How do you guys have that split out, different maps?
Well, the levels are split out into missions. So we'll have selected areas of planets, just as we have in past games, and then each planet will have an assortment of missions. Each one will have a basic set of 4 campaign missions, and then there'll be anywhere from, say, 3 to 10 bonus missions on every level. And you can play those in any order, so we get the non-linearity that we've always kind of wanted. So, and as far as scope of the game, it's definitely going to be bigger than Ratchet and Clank 3. They can expect something of that similar size.
Right on. Thank you so much for coming by, Cory. I
No
really
problem.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Excellent. And right now we're going to actually take a look at more of E3 2005 from our field team out on the floor. So let's, without further ado, take it away.